He was colonel of my regiment, the Grenadier Guards, and so he used to come to our officers' dinner every evening, every year in the evening, and he spoke to all the officers. He was terrific, highly respected and very admired by the officers and men alike, and he came to a lot of regimental events, both at home and abroad. I was very privileged to play in his polo teams for a couple of years, and he was a very driving but generous captain. One incident I remember, I luckily got the ball up to the Prince of Wales, who scored a goal, and of course the crowd erupted. And Prince Philip, as we rode back to the centre of the field to start the next play, rode up to me and said, "John, that was your goal," which was very generous of him.
That's nice, yeah.
And I was with him in Saudi Arabia when he helped greatly Great Britain land a huge trade contract, which was wonderful.
Yeah, what was his personality like in public versus what it was like in private?
Well, he was, as most military folk in Britain, very disciplined, and that was correct, and everyone in the military admired that tremendously. But he was huge fun, and he used to break the tension in any meeting, particularly when people were meeting the Queen and that sort of thing. He always had funny jokes for people, and he was wonderful in that respect. Sorry, I got so here muddled up. He was a great tension easer, and mainly through humor. He had a great sense of humor, but he did like discipline, and that was right. And I think that's where certain female members of the that married into the royal family didn't like it too much, because the royal family itself was very disciplined, because it's not just a royal family, it's a working royal family, and does huge amounts for British trade and industry and exports, way, way above its cost. And so he's very keen on that, and they call it the firm, because he ran it like a firm with some discipline. He was a great animal lover, a great sportsman, and as I said, the great ability to reduce tension with jokes. And he will be not only sorely missed, but a very great loss as one of its greatest sons for the United Kingdom.
You know, since you mentioned the females who married into the royal family, what was his relationship like with Meghan Markle and Princess Diana?
I'm afraid I was out of the country by the time Meghan Markle arrived. But I think, and this is only supposing, there's no facts backing this, but I think for Meghan to go ahead with that broadcast while he was in hospital with a heart condition, which is very delicate for a man in his 90s, bad enough for a person in their 60s. And I think that it was an appalling act. And to make those accusations against the royal family with absolutely no verification at all. I mean, it was staggering to me, and I think her reputation in England will have gone far below that it was when she left.
Okay. Wanted to get your reaction to a statement given by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the passing of the Prince.
We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen. Not just as her consort, by her side every day of her reign, but as her husband, her strength and stay of more than 70 years. And it is to Her Majesty and her family that our nation's thoughts must turn today.
Well, I've been lucky enough to be married 25 years, but 73 years they were together. And that's remarkable, John.
Yes, and she really loved him. I mean, when we had just practice chukkers for polo, right out in the boondocks, the outskirts polo grounds and things like that, she came to watch. I mean, she adored him from the moment she set eyes on him at Dartmouth when he was a cadet and into the Royal Navy. And despite certain resistance from her parents, and particularly his part German ancestry during the Second World War, there was considerable resistance to him, both in the royal family and outside. And he overcame all that with not only great charm and humor, but a very